This is no longer 11 versus 11 football, soccer. Now it's Real Madrid versus the referee federation in Spain. Welcome to the recap. Welcome to the recap. We have today our boy Manny. How you doing, Manny?
I'm doing good, Juan. How you doing, bro?
Good, good. I'm good. I'm doing really good. Thank you for asking. Hey, how'd you feel about that game, Real Madrid versus Los Asuna?
I feel like it was a very interesting game. Like the refereeing could have been a lot better.
Yeah. I believe Vinny's was a clear penalty. This should have been called. VAR should have.
The foul or the handball?
The foul. The handball was a little iffier. Sometimes they don't call it because the player is on the floor. So where can the hand go? But the foul, I believe, was a penalty. Especially they had just called one almost exactly like that at the Champions League fixture versus Real Madrid versus Man City.
The one on Foden.
Correct. And
Even the handball, I feel like on the replay, you could see the hand following the ball. He was obviously trying to get in the way of it.
does a Madrid fan feel like the referees are doing this on purpose or have like an agenda?
I feel like it's gotten worse ever since they spoke up about it. Like the refs are trying to prove a point, like, hey, we're gonna keep doing it and you can't stop us.
Now, Jude Bellingham got a red card. Was it valid?
He claims that Bellingham told him, F you, but Bellingham, he said that he says F off, and then, you can watch the video of it, we're not lip readers, but it does seem
Right.
he was saying F off.
F off.
And but you've been a referee, at some level of soccer, and
Very
you
amateur.
know, people like they're gonna yell at you, you're
Right.
you're gonna hear offensive things. Like I feel like Bellingham didn't disrespect him to the point where he needed to be sent off.
So you think it was more of proving a point, like, you guys attack the referees on a weekly basis with your Real Madrid videos. You guys attack the referees with the comunicado, and then also through tweets. Now we're gonna respond to you.
Yeah, because if you look back at it, that referee was smiling very hard. He was very happy to send him off.
Let's talk more about the game. Even though Real Madrid went down to 10 men, they still looked like the stronger side.
Yeah, they played with about 10 men for like what, 60-ish minutes.
Hmm.
And they were still attacking, they were the more dangerous team. Like I think Madrid really could have won that game still, even with 10 men, but it's just hard, man. You're outnumbered,
It is.
especially with the refereeing not going your way.
And it seems like in the last couple of games, decisions haven't gone to Real Madrid. And that is really, something that the fans are worried about because they feel that they're getting attacked by the referees because of all the things they've done.
Yeah, it's like they're walking on thin ice with the referees. Like, they gave Ancelotti a yellow card. Bellingham sent off, like they're just ready to send players off for Madrid.
Whose performance was your highlight? What player's performance was your highlight of the day?
I feel like Mbappe played pretty well.
It seems like he's picking up form. He seems like he's picking up form, but it seems like it's still not enough for these low block teams, especially when you have 10 players. But it seems like they have an issue when they come across low block teams that are just going to stand back, and defend.
In previous matches, I felt like Ancelotti like looked down on like inferior teams, like oh, you're not that good, like we're not gonna play our best players. Me personally, that's not the way I would approach it. I'd still send in my starting 11, get a decent lead, and then make early subs if you have to.
Are we starting to put the blame more on Ancelotti than the players about these negative results? Because it seems like in the last, was it like 5 games, it's only gained like 3 points.
I don't think you can blame everything on Ancelotti. I think he does get the lion's share of the blame. He's in charge of the team, but you can't blame everything on him. I think it's just been injuries, refereeing. There's been games where people underperform, but I think he does have most of the blame.
Is Real Madrid becoming a non-feasible team with the injuries and their gameplay?
I mean, they're still in the cup. They're still competing in the cup. They're first place in La Liga, until Barca. We'll see today. And then they're still in the Champions League, so they're still in every competition. They're alive. They're doing decent in the cup. They're doing decent in the Champions League. It's been La Liga that's been the problem lately.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be the hardest. if there's one competition to win, it's going to be the hardest competition for Real Madrid. It's going to be the league. One, you have the questionable calls, but two, you needed that consistency because a league takes into consideration your consistency through the whole year. It's not just a smaller tournament like the Champions League or the Cup. And who do you think has the most potential to be the most consistent team in the league?
I think Atletico,
Really?
honestly, they've been doing better than they did in the beginning of the season. Feel like they could carry this on out throughout the rest of the year. Because
But it seems
Barcelona got the cup and then they got Champions League to worry about.
yeah, but it seems like every time Atletico Madrid have a that's what you meant, right? Atletico Madrid, not Atletico.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seems
no,
like
yeah.
Atletico Madrid every time they have the opportunity to lead the league, they don't take it.
I don't know what it is about them,
That's
but
what that's what I'm trying to
I
figure
feel like
out.
they will focus on it. I think Barca will eliminate them in the Copa del Rey. And I think they're going to focus on La Liga, and I think they will pull it off.
Because if what is it? If Madrid beats City at the Champions League, they most likely will face Atletico or Leverkusen.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm not too worried about that. I feel like they've been doing a lot better in the Champions League lately.
Yeah. Now that Madrid dropped points and they tied against Osasuna, this gives Barcelona the opportunity to now lead the league again. What does Barcelona need to do to just keep that consistency and get it going to the final and win the league?
I think their problem is that they're very young players. They felt like they won in October. They were celebrating. They were talking all their talk, and they dropped down to like what 9 points behind Real at one point, and I think they're just gonna have to focus. It's a very young team. New coach. It's just focus, discipline.
Would you say Barca has maybe except for one or two players the best squad in the league?
I say they might have the best young squad in
No,
all of
not young
football.
squad, like best squad in the league.
I think their squad's better than Real, honestly. Just, going player for player.
And depth. I think depth they have. I mean, in the midfield they have 4 or 5 players to always select, and Madrid don't. Due to their injuries and that they're playing Valverde as like a right back, Manny as a center back.
Also, Ancelotti just refuses to use the bench. You've got Arda, you've got Endrick, you've got Ceballos, you got a lot of guys that you can bring in. He just does not want to.
I get that. I get that Real Madrid's philosophy is to buy good young players. But why don't they give the opportunity to their academy players? Obviously, like a person like Ancelotti and his son, they're there on a daily basis. They're watching the players practice and how they function. But what is it? What are La Fabrica players lacking to get that opportunity? Like La Masia players, like Pau Cubarsí, who's 18, but it seems like he's been playing for 10 plus years. Lamine Yamal, Bernal before he got injured, or Casado. What is it that the La Fabrica players are lacking to get that opportunity?
I think is that they're lacking something specific. I think it's just Madrid's starting 11 is just too high of quality to bench them. You bring in Mbappe, you bring in Bellingham, you bring in Vinicius, you bring in Rodrigo, all these guys that you're bringing off of transfers. It's like these young kids, they're not going to get the chance. Barca, as of late, they haven't had the money to go big on the
Mm,
transfer market, so you have to rely on your academy, and they've produced some pretty good players.
right, right. They do produce players that it seems like they're level headed and they're ready to play at that level.
Think those kids are just hungry, they want to prove their point. I think even Madrid's players like Asensio, they're hungry, but they have to be given the chance.
Do you think Barcelona can win the league if they switch a little bit and become a bit consistent?
They could definitely win it. They're not far off of points. They're what, 2 points right now, and they have a match
Yeah.
to play.
No,
So
3 points. 3 points. So if they tie today, they lead because they beat Madrid and their goal difference is higher.
they definitely got a chance to win it. It's just gonna take a lot of focus on those young guys.
Wednesday's match: Real Madrid versus Man City, second leg. What you think of the first? Let's push back. What you think of the first match?
I think Madrid played pretty well. You get an unlucky penalty. You could say it was, you could say it wasn't. I'm on the side saying it wasn't a penalty because I feel like Foden was outside of the box and his toe was on the line and he fell inside the box. So I could see why the referee gave it. That other goal by Holland, it seemed like Valverde was really high up and he wasn't able to drop on time. Asensio had to pick up on him, so that left Vardiol open for the cross. And it was like millimeters off of being offside, and they got a good goal off of that. But Real reacted pretty well. They're good at coming back against teams. So, I feel like you're pretty happy to come back at home, up 1 goal.
Do you think Man City can hold Real Madrid's offense to a shutout, especially at the
I
Bernabeu?
I don't. Their defense has been lacking. They've dropped a lot of leads. I don't see City advancing, but Real still has to come in, take it serious, get as many goals as possible. You still have to play well. You can't just come in here and be like, "Oh, we're moving through."
If Madrid had a weakness, you're like, okay, if we tighten this up, there's no way City beats us. What would it be?
Defense.
Who would you
Just
start?
I would start that same defense that started the first match. Valverde at right back. You got Asensio. Tchouaméni's not a terrible center back, so I would start him over someone like Vallejo or the other kid from the academy. I can't remember his name. I would start Tchouaméni over them, and I would start Fran Garcia at left back.
Mendy started, right?
Yeah, he did.
What do you think? What do you think Fran Garcia brings different than Mendy?
He helps a lot more on the offense. He defends at a decent level. He's fast. He can intercept those balls. But I feel like on the offense is where he really shines above Mendy.
With the incorporation of Nico Gonzalez to Man City, it seems like they kind of have not a Rodri, but 4 or 5 steps down type of Rodri player that gives them a simple pass to now give a pass to an outlet or commands the midfield better. Inform Nico Gonzalez, inform Mamouche. He scored a hat trick in the first half against. He scored a hat trick in the first half against Newcastle. Does something like that, and a Holland that all of a sudden can now score against Madrid, does something like that worry Real Madrid?
I think you got to take it into consideration, but you can't come in here fearing them. Just got to play them hard. I feel like Madrid will be able to step up to the challenge.
In the last game, I feel Madrid won the midfield with you saw a very tired, very old Kevin De Bruyne.
Man, you could tell off that one run where Asensio tracks him down and just slides very cleanly, gets the ball out for the corner. Kevin De Bruyne is showing his age as of lately, and then even Silva, he's getting up there on age. Kovacic hasn't been performing too well either.
And I think Nico Gonzalez is going to give City an extra, especially the fact that he knows how to distribute the ball, simply. A simple distribution that helps your team advance forward. And then Mamouche, he's on fire right now, and he scored a hat trick. He moves faster than Kevin De Bruyne and can help the team out more. If Guardiola, which I'm not sure he will, but if Guardiola puts in Nico and Mamouche, I think the battle of the midfield is going to be way different. Now Akanji is he's injured, so most likely it's going to have to be Rico Lewis defending, where we saw that Vinicius had a field day with him.
Vinicius was killing him, man. You could tell when Vinicius turned it on because that's really when Madrid had started taking off. Once Vinicius really got involved, just Rico Lewis could not do anything with him.
What would be your scoreline for Wednesday's match?
I think it'll be another 3-1 game for Madrid.
Who
I
who
think
do, who
so.
do your goal scorers?
Mbappe, Rodrigo, possibly Vinny.
So that's an interesting one. I think it's going to be 3-1 City. I have a
You
feeling
think
that
so?
it's yeah. I have a feeling that if Guardiola can get the defense, and it's a stretch, but it'd make it interesting. It'd make it a very interesting game because if you have Madrid winning 2-0 at the half, it's like okay, this is over. And we are about the football. Obviously, you want Madrid to win, but we're about the football, and I want it to be interesting. I think it's going to be a 3-1 City. I have Haaland scoring one, Mamouche scoring one, and Vardiol scoring one. And on the other side,
Guardiola.
I give it to Rodrigo. I think he's gonna have a good day.
Yeah, I hope City goes into the half leading, actually.
to make it
Just
interesting. I
blank
love it, dude.
Madrid
I love it
out.
because you're also a football guy and you want entertainment, right? I've always
Yeah,
said
I do want to see a good match.
Yeah, I've always said this, like, you know, I'll watch a Madrid game, I'll watch a Barca game, I'll watch any game that entertains me. And if it doesn't entertain me, I'm like, really? Like, you don't want to watch that. And I guess that's why the Premier League is, the highest valued in dollars league because of the entertainment it has. You can watch a game from like the guys that are in relegation and they give you a good game. They'll give you sometimes a better good game than the dudes from La Liga that are third and fourth.
Yeah, City's been losing to those bottom teams in the
Yes.
league, and
Yeah.
I feel like every team is competitive in the Prem League. And then in La Liga, it's just really a two-horse race, sometimes three-horse race with Atletico, just depending
Right.
on the year.
Yeah, Atletico's just kind of like holding on, but it seems like Atletico really doesn't want to win it. They just
It's
want to
really
be.
Barca versus Madrid.
It is. It
But
is. It is. Did you hear about the fact that Madrid is now saying that they want to leave the league,
they've been trying to start up their Super League
the
for a
Superliga?
while, and that did piss off UEFA. I feel like that's got a lot to do with Madrid's problems lately because you pissed off a lot of important people with that. You pissed off FIFA, you pissed off UEFA, you pissed off La Liga.
If you enjoy this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe. See you guys next episode.